What it's about is the headlines today. Yeah, we're here, but the mainstream media will all run with the same narrative and the same headline, and they'll pump it across the country. And if you read the headline, you'll think I've terrorised these two men. Yeah. I've terrorised them, threatened them, scared their families. No, done the total opposite. Made it very clear to them that I'm not gonna do the things that they've done.
Sheila Gunn Reid for Rebel News, all the way from Canada in rainy London, England. This morning, I sat down with citizen journalist and freedom fighter Tommy Robinson over breakfast, possibly his last free meal outside of prison walls, depending on how today's court hearing went. Spoiler alert, it went well. He's free for now. I'll tell you more about that in another video. But Tommy is facing new criminal harassment charges for confronting two journalists who photographed his children while he was on a private family holiday in Cyprus. They invaded his kids' privacy. Now he's the one on trial. Tommy's just come off a stretch in jail for civil contempt because he published a documentary the press didn't like. And now, with a real chance of being remanded into custody again, he took a few minutes to speak with us. Take a listen. Tommy, I just caught up with you in a cafe. Could be your last meal before jail again.
It's a better cafe than Tim Hortons for you Canadians. We have a full English. Your breakfast is awful.
You know, I won't argue. I won't argue. Give us a rundown of exactly what brings you back to court today.
Brings me back to court because journalists tracked down where I was with my children and family on holiday. They came, they photographed us in the hotel. But my problem was, for public interest, why did they put pictures of my innocent family members when they're fully aware there's threats of danger and death threats against them? Why did they give the location where we were? That resulted from, they done their article on the 5th. They basically framed me as the person behind the riots when there's no evidence of that. In fact, all the evidence is the total opposite. I wasn't even in the country when the riot started. I was calling for calm and peace the whole time. But then they run a headline that basically told the world that I was instigating and organising the riots. Now, this happened at the same time that Keir Starmer's government, the Labour government, who wanted to deflect any of the public anger that's against them for their policy failures in this country, they wanted to deflect it and blame it on me and blame it on ideology and blame it on the far right. Now, since then, so Keir Starmer's government says it was far right. The Daily Mail then put me as the front page, blaming me. Since then, there's been in-depth investigations and studies by the police. There was no link to far right, no link to me, no links to anything. It was just angry people in towns and cities. And they're angry because refugees and migrants have been put into hotels, for example. They never spoke about why people were rioting. In Hull, which is a city where people rioted, a migrant left the hotel and committed an act of jihad and stabbed a British pensioner to death. In Tamworth, a migrant left the hotel. His name was Mohammed, and he raped a woman who was walking home. In Great Yarmouth, a migrant left the hotel and raped a woman. Across this country, migrants have been housed in hotels and have raped English women. So when this boiling point come after 3 young children were butchered to death, when that come, people come out in the streets with anger. But rather than address why they're angry, I got blamed, I got scapegoated. That resulted in death threats against my family. My mum and dad had to relocate from their home. There was so much going on. And the media have never had it turned on them. Right. Yeah. Now, I act as a citizen journalist. So when they done this to me, the next day, I started doing my homework on them. And I contacted them and messaged them saying, you need to answer questions of why you've just endangered and located my family. They could have wrote the article without giving the location of where we were and without photographing innocent people, like family members. But they purposely, their motive was to cause me maximum disruption, maximum problems, maximum danger. That was their motive. It wasn't news. It wasn't news and it wasn't the truth. It was to scapegoat me and to endanger me. So I then got pictures of them. And what I asked them was, is it okay for me to come and ask you questions when you're with your family? And I made it very clear. I'm not going to show images of your family. I'm not going to give away your locations. I know where you are, because I found out within 24 hours where all 3 of them were. I said, I've got questions to ask you on camera. Made it clear. I'm coming with a camera to ask you questions. Well, that's what they done to me. Right. Then I'm prosecuted when I was in jail, questioned when I was in jail. We get a result to say I'm going to be freed from jail. And the very next day, the police come in and issue me this court date. The next day, it's so blatant for everyone to watch. Now, what I believe they'll do today is try and gag me, which is what this is about. This case may take now till 2027, from what I'm being told.
So be gagged for 2 years.
Be gagged for 2 years and gagged because I'm glad you're here. Okay, so thank you, Ezra. I'm glad you're here. We've got the voice of ours. We've got the difference is now there's citizen journalists that come from everywhere, yeah, which is why they can't win anymore. Because what they will do today, everyone has these, yeah. What the mainstream media narrative will be today, and the headlines that will go everywhere, is Tommy Robinson causes fear of violence. Tommy Robinson harasses journalists. They found my family on a holiday. This is
in another country.
In another country. This is the second time they've done that on a holiday. They've come into my hotel twice and took pictures of my family on a holiday. They've caused danger to them. They have followed extremists and live streamed the Daily Mail, the same paper, live streamed where my family lived. The family had to move and leave their home. Yet they're saying that I've caused them fear of violence. Threats to kill my kids, threats to kill my family. That I've caused them violence by saying I'm going to question you with a camera. It's like, is this for real? And the sentence for this is 10 years in prison. But they come and they give me this condition. Today's cost $5,000. Yeah, this is what it is. It's financial terrorism. There's not been, since I started speaking out in 2009, since the start of my activism, I have not had one day where I haven't faced court prosecution. So I thought when I was coming out of prison this time, I thought, right, I'm going to get out of here, and for the first time, I'm going to have no case. But I told the prison officers, I guarantee you, they come and get me again. I don't know what for. And then literally, we got the result. I'm sitting there, and the officer comes in. He said, "Police are here." I just looked at him. I said, "I told you. I don't know what it's for, but I told you." And I thought they'd trump up a charge in order to remand me. Now, who knows? I might walk in here now. They might say you're remanded and put me straight in prison, and then hold me till 2027 for trial. But I haven't done anything. So what was important for me was that the public see, just like they saw with the film Silence. So right now, pinned on my X account and on I've been given YouTube back. So Tommy Robinson Online, subscribe and like, share. I made a documentary. I think we've done pretty good. We've done it in 6 days. I haven't slept for 6 days. Okay. So, and we got a film out which details to the public. Here's what they've done. Here's how they've done it. Have a watch. Make your own mind up. Have I caused them fear, or have they caused my family fear? But the problem is, it's like 2025, and I can't ask a journalist a question. They're allowed to act as a propaganda arm for the establishment and government, harass people, persecute them, target them, humiliate them, lie about them, slander them. And the minute you turn the camera on them, well, you'll go in jail. Yeah. That is a communist country. It's a communist nation. That's not free press.
Well, and the charges causing them fear. Well, fear is an emotion.
Yeah, causing them fear. There's no evidence of that. I don't make any threats. I don't say anything. I cause them fear. Yeah, fear of violence. So all they have to say is, "Oh, I was scared." What do you think my daughter was like when she was 13 years old in a swimming pool and men were running around asking for me, taking pictures? What do you think? Because due to this article that they put out, given our location, Muslims were making videos saying he's in this hotel, this is where he is. The threats were insane. And the person who faces prison here is me. They don't like citizen journalism. They have controlled the media for as long as any of us have lived, including our parents, and they have been able to tell you how to think about who and about who. And those days are gone because of these. So they don't want it, and they don't want the camera turned on them. And we'll continue to turn the camera on. So even now in this, I'll just say, watch my film. It doesn't matter what they do, because the monopoly that they had, they don't have anymore, because luckily we can do interviews like this, and luckily people can find us on X, thanks to Elon Musk, and find us on YouTube and find us on Rumble.
One last question before we head down to the courthouse. How's your family holding up?
How's my family? I would have loved to have come out. I promised myself when I was in jail that when I come out, I'm going to slow my life down and I'm going to spend time with my family. But because I come out and I knew I had 7 days till I was in court, I believe, this is what I believe they're going to gag me today. I don't know that, yeah? But I think their motives for these cases are always to tie me up and silence me. So I think today they'll impose conditions. So I didn't have a choice, but I've worked non-stop for 7 days. So I haven't really seen my family. I'm booking clear time in with them from next week. I've just had so much to do, which seems mad because I've been sat in a room for 7 months. And to be honest, I come out after 7 months in a room and I felt weird. All week I felt weird. But the family, yeah. My family have to. You watch that video. Like, I just can't believe that I'm the one being prosecuted. There's no crime. There's no crime.
There's no crime to
journalism. Yeah. Uncontrolled journalism. That's the problem. We're uncontrollable.
And the process is the punishment for everybody, not you.
$5,000. Spent a week on this video instead of spending a week with my kids. In London today. Bail conditions probably imposed today. Back in court next month. Trial probably going up to 50, 60, 70,000 pounds. And then when you win, because remember, you come for the anti-Semitism rally, yeah? We come here last time and I won the court case. That cost £40,000. How much money did we get back? None. They won. So they win. And what it's about is the headlines today. What it's about is the headlines today. Yeah? We're here, but the mainstream media will all run with the same narrative and same headline, and they'll pump it across the country that and if you read the headline, you'll think I've terrorised these two men. I've terrorised them, threatened them, scared their families. No. Done the total opposite. Made it very clear to them that I'm not gonna do the things that they've done.
I flew 18 hours one way to be here in London because we can't trust the media in that courtroom behind me. They've already picked a side, and they want Tommy Robinson back in a cell. You can follow our full coverage at TommyReports.com and support independent journalism that actually tells you the truth. For Rebel News, here in rainy London, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.